You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Now, for a look at the news making international headlines this Friday, the 29th of April.
Malnourished children are flooding into the pediatric ward of the main hospital in the Ethiopian city of Gode as the worst drought for 40 years has forced many families to leave their home to search for aid. Nemo Mohammed, a 35-year-old mother of 9 who is about to have another baby, now lives with her entire family in a displaced people's camp in the city, located in Ethiopia's southeastern Somali region. More than 10,000 people are getting aid there, most of them women and children. On Tuesday, April 27th, Mohammed told Reuters the drought had devastated her family, causing them to lose their home. Her family of 11 is now living in makeshift houses made of sticks and covered with plastic sheets or clothes. Adults at the camp are regularly missing meals to ensure children are fed, Mohammed said. At Gode General Hospital, Reuters saw around a dozen malnourished children being treated. Pediatrician Mohammed Armin said that numbers started to spike around 5 months ago. Armin said the hospital has treated 140 malnourished children, 4 of whom had died. He added that this figure does not include those in the local displaced people's camp. Last year, the hospital received 188 malnourished children, but now they saw that in a single month, Armin said, adding that many families were arriving with several malnourished children. The Horn of Africa region is facing the driest conditions in more than 4 decades after 3 consecutive rainy seasons failed. According to the United Nations World Food Programme, the WFP said around 15 million people need food in the Horn of Africa, a figure that could rise to 20 million by the end of the year. Claire Neville, spokeswoman for WFP, said the drought was the latest in a series of climate shocks that have compounded the food insecurity situation in the region.
The number of Cubans leaving their homeland has soared in recent months. The migration, often via irregular and dangerous routes over land and sea, have sparked new tensions between the island's communist-run government and the United States, the principal designation for Cuban migrants. The long-time advisories held a high-level talks focused on crisis for the first time in 4 years in April. In November, Nicaragua, a close political ally to Cuba, waived its visa requirements for Cubans, saying the move is intended to promote commercial exchange, tourism, humanitarian family relations. But among Cubans, a flight to Nicaragua is now seen as a path to least residential for those seeking to escape a grinding economic crisis on the island that has led to food and medical shortages since last July, the largest anti-government protest since Cuban leader Fidel Castro in 1959 resolution. The coronavirus pandemic and tightened US sanctions under former President Donald Trump have aggravated the crisis, contributing to the glamour to leave the island. Nearly 80,000 Cubans have been apprehended at the US border with Mexico in the last 6 months since October 2021. In March alone, more than 32,000 Cubans were picked up, nearly twice that of the previous month, according to US Customs and Border Protection statistics. If the rate holds, the current Nicaragua-driven migration would outpace that of the 1980 Morale boat lift when Castro opened Cuba's ports into US vessels and estimated 125,000 people left the island. The United States have long given preferential treatment to Cuban migrants arriving to the border, a vestige of Cold War-era policy when communist Cuba was closely allied with the US arch-rival, the Soviet Union. Even today, few Cubans once across the border in Mexico are turned back to US statistics show. The Biden administration, however, have recently said it is working with recent allies to stem the reasoning numbers of migrants arriving the south border, including Cubans. Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, and Panama have recently implemented or announced measures requiring transit visas for the Cubans passing through their airports en route to Nicaragua, increasing Cubans who saw their travel plans frustrated. Those affected have protested at embassies across Havana. Yes, in 1984, 1994, 1995 and 2017, those agreements remain in effect but modified under former US President Barack Obama in January 2017. That accord commits the US states to ensure legal migrations to the Republic of Cuba with a minimum of 20,000 personnel annually. The United States, which scaled back embassy staff in Havana following unexplained health issues in 2017, has since fallen far short of the commitment but has promised to speed up visa processing overall for Cubans and resume some consular services in Havana in May. The same 2017 agreement commits Cuba to receiving back all Cuban nationals found to have tried irregularly to enter the remain in the country, the violation of United States law. The Cuban government has not accepted deportations of Cuban nationals via charter or commercial flight from the US from the last 6 months. A US government source acknowledged the matter, told reporters. Both countries have painted in April high-level migration talks in a positive light, though they have not struck firm agreements. A senior Biden administration official called the conversations the beginning of a good dialogue, while Cuba's foreign minister said they were without a doubt a positive sign.
A Dutch German air and missile defense task force deploys Patriot surface-to-air missile system near Sliak Air Base, Slovakia in April to reinforce defense capability on NATO eastern flank following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Patriot system will contribute to the NATO integrated air and missile defense system, a network of interconnected sensors, command and control assets, and weapons. This ground-based defensive system will strengthen the integrated shielding of NATO borders and will protect Slovakia from missile threat. NATO integrated air missile defense is an essential continuous mission in peacetime, crisis, and conflict, safeguarding and protecting aliens' territory, population, and forces against any air and missile threat and attack. It is an essential element of NATO deterrence and defense. Colonel George Silver, commander of the German Air Missile Defense Wing 1 and Task Force commander in Slovakia. The Patriot system is used for the protection of our own troops, for the protection of population, for the protection of city, of critical infrastructure that can be shipyard, it can be nuclear power plant over which we spread a protective belt with the Patriot system and make sure that there are no unauthorized aircraft, missiles endangering this protected object and therefore ensure the security on the ground for these troops and objects.